So last week I told you about an exciting delivery that arrived, and it's this over here. We've got some large French doors that came all the way from Doncaster because a quote 3 miles away was double the price. For anyone in the Lincolnshire or Yorkshire area, I highly recommend checking out Roundbrand. This and the other French doors that we've got came to at least half price, and my dad's been going there for years because, well, quality and price. And our order only took about a week. Now there's a couple of reasons why I am replacing them. Well, first of all, they're very stiff. I don't even want to bother cleaning them because they're dated and they're not energy efficient. These definitely can't be argon filled like the other one. So I want to take them out ready for putting our new flooring in as well. Also, this is actually a pair put together with this column bit in the middle, and I want to ditch this, which is very limiting when we're trying to put things through, like furniture and stuff. And after investigating what was above here, because there's a big piece of skirting board either side, I want to try and ditch this wood, because the ones that we've got are now made to measure that should go up there. Hopefully I've got my measurements right. So that's another thing that I want to show you is how I measured them. Now I didn't take measurements from the inside because this is where the plaster is, and I didn't take them from the inside bottom to the top because the concrete floor goes up to this sill, and I'll tell you why that was a huge mistake later. When I spoke to my dad, he said we don't actually need a sill in here anymore because this would have been installed about 40 years ago before the conservatory was added on. So it was exposed to all the elements. So what I've done is got my laser measurer and got it right underneath here, down to the floor. Now, the floor is tiled, and that's okay because I'll still get a bit of clearance anyway once this sill has gone, because this has been tiled around it. So I should be able to use packers. But for the width of it, my dad told me to get brick to brick measurements and that the company will reduce it by 10 millimetres. So you've got clearance either side. So hopefully all is okay. And I've done exactly the same for the French doors over there. I won't be installing those this week. It's just this one, hopefully, because the biggest challenge here, well, apart from can we do it, is getting this through the archway. The highest point is there. Hopefully we can pop it through here and then angle it once this is gone to get it through. And if we can't get this through, we've got to do that window over there instead, and then bring this one in and do this later. I'm hoping it doesn't come to that. Right now it's October, and the moment we take this off, it's going to be cold for a while until we get this on, and the fire isn't going to be installed for at least a couple of weeks. So I've been online to watch a few YouTube videos on how to dismantle old patio doors like these. Not found any exactly like this anyway. Hopefully it's just a case of taking that trim off and that trim off either side. But first thing I'm going to do is take this wooden trim off to separate these and have a look. I've got the most scratched goggles on from my tiling project, but this seems quite easy to take off. It's just nailed on. I don't really know what it's nailed on to. Oh, well, that's coming off. Ah, if you look closer, it's just a few strips of plywood. God, it feels so flimsy, this. Stitch that. Well, if it worked, it worked. Now I try to remove trim. I don't think this is the right one. Oh, I've just chipped the paint. This handle's in the way. No, start on bottom one. Oh, this filling knife's dog poo. Finally, a pry bar seemed to do better. What we got? So apparently this is a safety feature as well for this. Oh look, you've got another piece that's covered there. Right, I need to get this bottom out now. Ah, there's a lip. Maybe it's not time to take that out. Yeah, it's like it were on a runner. So I can't get that bottom trim out because I think this door is actually hooked over the top of it. So I have seen on YouTube that I probably should get rid of this so I could open this door completely and try and take it off the runner. I have no idea if this is going to work. I'm struggling to get it out. I don't know. I don't know if you got that on camera, but I've managed to unhook it from the rail. I've realised I don't have safety shoes on. It's heavier than I thought. It doesn't look like it can get the glass out of it either. Hopefully we can get this off now. Oh, I don't even know how it's screwed on here. Is there some seal here that we're going to take off, look? And it's partly mounted to that. Let's try that. It feels like this isn't really the way to do it. Come on. That had to be effort to get that in there in the first place. Okay, so it's moving. Oh, 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 it's coming out. But we have exposed the screws up there as well. Well, it's coming out. I don't want to jinx myself, but hopefully that's the hardest bit out of the way. Anyway, I'm going to undo the bottom screws first, then the sides, and then the top last. Just didn't want it falling on us. Oh. It's vintage dirt, this. Listen up. Do you want to see Hanson's favourite hiding place right now? Go and check over there. Is he moving? I'd love it for someone to have written a note like Charlie and Joan Maria. God, they're tiny. Oh my God, that isn't going anywhere. Oh, ow. Ooh. Come on. There. Oh, did you get that? Reflex like a cat. Whoa. Smash. Quick update. See the patio here? It shrunk in size. And that's because, look behind you, it was a beast to get in. It was definitely at least a two-person job. Could have done with a third, but we had to rearrange some of the tools in the conservatory to angle it to get it through. And it was just too awkward. You know what? We thought we'll test it first before we hit record, and then we got it in. Anyway, it's done now. Now I want to just get rid of the old sill and the filler piece of wood at the top. You're gonna have a scoochy, pal, because I don't want to get you with this big pry bar. Oh. Oh, hopefully I can get that out now. Oh, that's a bit trapped. Oh, I'm relieved. I'm just relieved. Ooh, I bet this is as old as me. Doesn't smell as nice as me though. Ovs. Hello. You want to fetch? Fetch it. Fetch. And fetch. Then I could unscrew the battens that were fixed to the steel lintel. To hopefully save myself some hassle, I'm leaving in these wooden packers. I also hoover any debris and bits that were in the way to do our first test fit, which was very stressful because one, it was heavy enough for two of us, and two, whether I'd done a very costly mistake in my original measurements. So I had to turn the camera off. It got very stressful, hot, sweaty. That's why I'm now in a vest top, but we've managed to get it in. But another reason why it was stressful, I realised it was probably a terrible idea taking the height from the conservatory end unless I was having the doors open that way, because yes, we do need to pack it up by about 20 mil. But the annoying thing that I'm kicking myself over now is, can you see the depth, the space, at the moment at least, before it's been packed up, between the bottom of the door and the floor. And we haven't even installed the flooring yet. Now, we're probably going to be fine, but I'm so annoyed with myself that I didn't even think about that, about the depth between the bottom of the frame and the bottom of the door. This shouldn't be an issue for over there for the French doors. I mean, worst case, we have to turn it around where the doors are opening that way because it's a lower floor there. But that also means the master door isn't on the side that we want. And when you open it, I don't really want a big pillar in the middle. I think that'd be awkward. Ideally, I want it this way. I've done a rough check. It seems to be okay, but take some off just in case and pack it up. But as you can see, the sides are absolutely bang on with room to spare, so we can still get some packers in there. Oh, so annoyed. So because I've got a channel here, I need to prop up the frame, and I'll be doing that with bits of wood and packers. So I'm going to use some damp-proof course, just in case there is a bit of damp under here, which I roll out to get my length. I stick it down with some all-weather sealant, but ditched the old nozzle because it was full of stuff, and I only needed a few dabs of it to press it down. So now the damp-proof course is stuck down, which I didn't really have to do, I just did that so it didn't move about for the next step. And what I've done is stacked some plastic packers and some wood on top. So I've got a little gap here so I can put a pry bar to push it right up to the top. Apart from, well, first of all, I know that it is level, but over here, the lintel isn't actually level. So I know I'll have to put a packer up there. And also, I have packed it up, yes, but I've also given myself room to get this window in. Well, that's the plan. It's about 6 mil or something over there. A lot more over here. If it's too tight, I've just got to take some of the blue packers out from the bottom, and then we've still got room to push it up and fit some more underneath. Wish me luck. You're getting yours in first. Tell me when you want me to lift. Yep. Yeah. No, we need to take some out. So a bit gutted, it is a little bit too tight for me. So I'm taking out my top layer of packers and putting them back. Now this is the tighter end, so I've actually got a separate piece of wood here on top. These are treated timber just in case as well. I'm going to leave one packer in so I can try and lift it up. Right, let's try again. Oh, right, bring it out. Oh, that was a waste of time. Yep. Oh, that's a relief. Oh, great. The postman knocked on the door, leaving me to prop it up on my own. Chop, chop, Mr. TCD, less yapping. So we've got to try and prop up the tightest side first, then try and get it level. So I've got a pry bar, which I'm trying to lift the wood up to slot packers underneath, and enough packers. Right, I've got a red in. Then check for level while the spirit level rested on the profile. It'd be much easier if it had a sill and I was checking that for level. That's bang on. So now it's firmly propped up, I got the sides plumb and level. So you've seen me pry it up to wedge more packers underneath, but I also had Mr. TCD just to give it more encouragement to lift it. And we know it is level, although the spirit level, along spirit level, I've had to rest it on one of the contours. And remember, the reason we're not having a sill here is because we don't need one, it's an internal door. And I keep hearing the base has to be bang on level, otherwise I may have issues opening and closing the door. Then I've taken my long spirit level to both the sides to check it's plumb, and when it wasn't, luckily that 5mm clearance either side that the manufacturers took off, that's given us room to get it square. This bottom needed to go in that way. So both sides of those are plumb. So like that. So before I drill and screw it, I just want to show you the clearance under the door. If I put a piece of wood there, and we've got 2mm of the underlay, hopefully that'll be fine. And the other thing is, if you look at this crack here, if I run my piece of wood against it, it just keeps hitting it and it's raised a bit more. So I might later on remove this bit here and add a new bit. I'll cross that bridge if I come to it. I've just got to get this screwed up. I know you might turn the door around so you avoid that, but I just don't want to open a door into this pillar. And I want to keep the dominant door on this side, which is the same as the other one that we're going to have. And the other thing that's playing on my mind is, by the time I've got the wooden flooring down, I've got to put a little bead down there to hide my cut. So I've got to look for the thinnest plastic trim. Hopefully I'll find something at Eurocell. So now I'm pre-drilling in the sides, 150mm from the top and from the bottom, with an HSS drill bit so we can go through the metal first that's inside the frame. Then I'll switch over to an SPS hammer drill so I can drill straight through the brickwork, and then use my concrete screws, which are 150mm long, all the while double checking everything is plumb and level. I'm also wedging packers behind them to prevent me warping the frame while I screwed it to the wall, and I added 4 in total for the sides. Hopefully you can see, but I've purposely not drilled as long as my actual screw because these are more fragile breeze blocks I've found. Let's have a look. Then on to the other side. No, that needs to go in more. I'm now drilling and screwing 4 screws to the floor, and the whole time I was using a 6mm STS hammer drill bit, which is vital for red brick. Normally I'd use 5 for our concrete blocks, but as I didn't drill all the way through, I knew I'd be fine with this. Ow, it's bang on. For the steel lintel, I saw a Charlie DIY video using these TechFast self-drilling screws with an impact driver. And okay, they're actually for mounting wood to steel, but I thought I'd give them a go. I was very curious. And they weren't quick, which is normal for any drill bit through steel. Oh, come on. It's not biting. So I ended up swapping for a concrete screw, which worked. It's not right. You know what, that went in. I'm leaving that one. So we're back on my DJI Osmo Pocket 3. It was playing up yesterday, overheating, so I'm hoping this is going to be fine. That's also why it's another day, because I wanted to get it all on film. But anyway, all the beading is off the 2 outer windows, and I'm going to put some packers down to prop up my first pane of glass. So if you come over here, now I've seen a lot of people put packers in, but I don't know if I need them because they've got these channel things to stop rain actually getting into the glass. Now, it's not an external patio to us, but I'm still going to do it. So many people tell me packers are really important, but it's going to be more important on the actual doors for heeling and towing. Heel and toe. I keep saying teal and hoe. Anyway, I'm going to pop them on these on an angle, and they're even as well. So before I get my glass, I'm making sure that my shorter ends of the beads are near me, as well as my glass pane shovel thing and my double glazing hammer. There's only one way these go. Right, that's in. Please go in. Ah, oh, that's a relief. Right, now I'm just going to push that in to square it in. Right, I'd say they're in. I don't know if it's because it's new, but this top one is really, really stubborn. That's in. Just in case I haven't said, I'm making sure that the sticker is on the inside because it says that this surface must face the room interior. Now, because I've put my shortest ones in, this allows me to put my longest ones in next. Okay, so we're on a new camera. This is getting a costly job, this. Let's crack on with the next window. Oh, it's a relief. So I'm putting the top one in first to keep the glass steady, then I can step back and put the rest of them in. So now I've put the bottom one in. That's in. So as I've got 2/3 of the way up, I've actually decided to poke the top in and then start up there, just so I'm less likely to struggle. Got there, thank goodness. Right, we're going to try and heel and toe. I've got a packet in the bottom corner already. It's on the hinge side. Oh, these handles aren't great in the way, are they? Is that going to go in? Or is that now too high? No, I'm not messing about with that. So we've reduced the size of the packer. Right. All right, that's in. So I'll put another packer in there at the bottom. So the idea is that this pivots the weight on the hinge side. Right. And then I need to put some on this side as well. Oh, I wasn't pushing enough. Right, well, there's no wobble in that. So I'm going to put my trim at the top and the bottom to get it secure. Then I'm going to test to see if it opens okay. It's also meant to stop it dropping. Please open okay. It's a bit tight, isn't it? Right. It's catching on the bottom, which means I need to do something at the top. So after my first heel and toe attempt, I found it was catching on the bottom. So what I had to do was remove the top trim and shuffle it along with my glazing paddle to cram some more packers in here to then push the weight of the glass onto the hinge side to lift the bottom of this door to stop it catching. Thankfully, it's sorted now, but it's definitely not as easy as the YouTube videos make out. So now I'm going to put my trim on and hopefully I'll have first time success with the other door. Oh, I'm itching. It's not a time to be itching. Right, might be a bit too thick. Let's test it. Oh, the master door has to open first. Thank that. So now we're happy with how the doors are opening. I'm going to spray some expanding foam inside the gaps. I think you need to test it outside. I can't press it. No, I can't. After a clout with a hammer, which did the trick, it actually created an undesirable effect. Oh, it's exploding again. I'm not even pressing it. I think this is faulty. So I just called it a day. I think he either wants to get to his food or his toy drawer. Something tells me we're going to have lots of wet nose marks to clean up on this glass. Go on then. See you, pal. Come on. Don't be silly. It's cold out there. Definitely feel a difference now we've fitted it. But I've got to admit, this has been, out of all of the DIY YouTube videos I've ever done, this has been the absolute worst to film and edit. Because my camera started overheating and the gimbal kept vibrating, I've had to do so much warp stabilisation on the footage. That'll be going off for repairs. Then I've bought another one, just in case. And then finally, the nail in the coffin, twice, my computer packed up and we thought we'd lost all of this footage for good. It's been really, really stressful. But if you've managed to see it, oh yes. Luckily, it's under warranty and support guided us through taking it apart and doing a few bits and bobs, but it's definitely going to go back. There's still an issue. So we're just rendering this video, and then next week I'll be using Mr. TCD's while that gets shipped off. And to be honest, with all of the chaos that's been happening, I've not had time to fill with more expanding foam or silicone, but I may as well show you that while I do this one all at the same time. Now, I know I'm going to get questions about this. Fencer certificates, will I get one because I've installed it myself? No, but would that stop me buying a house that I really liked? No, it wouldn't. But it is tough and safety glass and it's argon filled, and that to me is fine enough. And do I plan to live here? No. But if you are planning to sell your home, it will come up in solicitor's paperwork. Now, I know I've been beating myself up a lot about taking the measurement from outside here for the height because it's ever so slightly lower than here, but really it's not bad for a first attempt without my dad here. But what he did say was I could have shaved 6mm off the top of the frame with a plane, and you know what, maybe I have to do that later on, and if it doesn't work out we might have to turn it around. But right now I'm leaving it and we'll be focusing on that one next. Also, something you might be wondering is whether this will be too close to the furniture. Well, this is quite a large room, so I'm pretty sure we're going to be safe. And our sofa is going to go there with the TV. We might have one over there as well. And the one opening here is definitely opening inwards, so when it's a windy day, it's not going to take the door off. Anyway, if you've got any tips, tricks, any suggestions of what I could have done differently or better, then let me know. And hopefully I'll see you soon from a different computer. Thanks for watching. Bye.